Uranus is one of those planets that doesn't have a lot of videos out there because not all of us get to experience Uranus in every house, because it takes Uranus 84 years to go around your chart. Therefore, he takes 7 years in each constellation, in each house, okay, in your astrological chart. So you get to experience Uranus in 7 years with that same energy, okay? So let's say, for instance, Uranus is in Aries, okay, when you were born, and then he transits to Taurus, in when you get to your age 7, and then he'll transit to Gemini in age 14, you see? So Uranus is very hard to, categorize. It's very hard to read, okay? You really have to pay close attention to what is happening in your life during those 7 years, okay? What is like overall the main theme, because it's like it's so vague. It really is, because the further the planets go away from the Earth, you can't see them. They're not visual. That means that the energy is more of an internal energy instead of a visual energy, like Mars or Venus. These are actions that you actually see, okay? You meet someone, oh, that's Venus. You have a fight with someone, oh, that's Mars. It's a physical thing. But when planets are further, you have to, it's something that's happening internally, okay? So you have to like meditate and, observe what is really taking place, what are you feeling. But in the case of Uranus could get very physical. And let me tell you why Uranus could get very physical. Because Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. Okay, now the traditional ruler of Aquarius was Saturn, but Uranus became the second ruler of Aquarius, and actually the official one. And because Uranus rules shock, surprise, change, and Aquarius has that element of shock and surprise and change in the characteristics that it pertains to. So as a result, that's why it's called the ruler of Aquarius. And Uranus is one of those planets that it catches you off guard, okay? And let me give you an example. Uranus is currently transiting my 6th house of health and routine. I can tell you that your schedule is unpredictable for 7 years. You change directions many, many times. Nothing is stable. Everything changes. So if you have Uranus in the 6th house transiting now, you will see that nothing is quite stable. Your health is not quite stable. You get surprises here and there, okay? Sometimes your life could be in danger. My life was in danger like two years ago when I had a fire in my house suddenly, and that was during a full moon, and the full moon happened in my 6th house next to Uranus, and it was a blood moon. So it intensified that violent act on Aries, and it was very aggressive energy, and I just had a fire in my house, and we almost lost the whole house. So Uranus could be very physical, okay? Now, when Uranus transits your 5th house, you're going to get a lot of romantic partners, okay? They will come and they will go for 7 years, okay? Nothing stable there. When Uranus passes through your 4th house, you're going to have family issues, okay? Family will come and go, okay? There's going to be drama there for 7 years. That's going to be the main thing. Or you might lose somebody suddenly, or find somebody suddenly, and they just keep going and coming, okay? When Uranus goes into your 3rd house, when it transits there, you may suddenly have siblings and maybe suddenly lose them, okay? When Uranus transits your 2nd house, it means that you might gain a lot of money, and the same way you gain that money, it will come out. If you have a natal Uranus in your 2nd house, you will see that the same way you get money, it's the same way it comes out, okay? When you have Uranus in the 1st house, you're gonna see a lot of changes to your persona. Okay, for those 7 years, your image will change. Maybe you will, I don't know, get a makeover. You keep changing your style for those 7 years. That's like the main theme for those 7 years. Change, surprises, When you have Uranus in your 12th house transiting, what you will experience is changes in dreams, intense dreaming, maybe, and also hospitals, okay? You might be coming in and out of hospitals, okay, and facilities too, prisons, okay? and also intense sudden dreaming, okay, during those 7 years. When Uranus is transiting the 11th house, you are going to lose friends and gain friends really easily, okay, and also you could have problems with friends, you know, you could say arguments, sudden arguments, and ups and downs with friends for those 7 years. Now, when you have Uranus transiting your 10th house, you're going to experience a lot of lows and highs with your reputation. Suddenly, people discover things about you, and you'll be in and out of that spotlight for 7 years. Your reputation will be going up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay. When Uranus is transiting your ninth house, for those 7 years, you're going to experience spiritual enlightenment. Maybe you might be a Christian, and then all of a sudden, when Uranus goes into your ninth house, you're not going to be a Christian anymore. You might be a Buddhist, okay? And you're just going to be receiving a lot of spiritual enlightenment, okay? Because Uranus is it's represented by lightning. When Uranus is transiting your 8th house, okay, now the 8th house is a little dangerous because the 8th house deals with other people and credit and death and sex and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of intense there, okay? It's a little shady. So you might be experiencing a lot of drama for those 7 years. So be careful with the 8th house, and I'll be very dreadful when it happens in my 8th house one day. When Uranus transits your 7th house, you may find yourself partnering with people suddenly, and also leaving relationships suddenly, getting married. You might be having several marriages, okay? When Uranus goes into your 7th house, several marriages throughout those 7 years, okay? So I hope this clarified Uranus transits, and namaste.